things are about to get really, really good. Things are about to get so good, way better than you thought that they could get. And what you are going through right now is a necessary part of the becoming. If you are watching this right now, there is a message that is wanting to come through for you. I never usually do this, but all day I have had this nagging feeling in my head that there is something that you are meant to know, that I'm meant to create a video on, that is meant to channel through just about the next phase of reality that you're going to be going into. This is for anyone that has felt like they've been going through a void period where nothing's really made sense, things haven't been clicking the way that they've wanted things to click. Maybe you've been striving towards manifestations, or you've been going towards new opportunities. Maybe you've set a new manifestation and you're starting to take new action, whatever it is, but you feel like things are slowing down, going backwards, or just getting really crunchy. And you're finding yourself getting confused, getting really frustrated that a lot of these things are happening. And it's making you doubt yourself. It's making you doubt whether this is the right path, whether you've got the right message, whether you're even on the right track. And if this is you, the message that is coming through is that this is almost over. There is a period for a lot of people right now where people are going through huge purges over different periods of time, but there has specifically been one just before June that has happened. Coming into June is when a lot of this fog and this veil is going to lift, and it's going to allow a lot more clarity to land. It's going to allow people to really start to step into the truth of who they have come here to be. And a lot of things are going to just start clicking. If you've been comparing yourself to other people a lot, that is usually a sign that you are obviously doubting yourself, but that you are allowing old patterns which you know do not serve you, like over scrolling to the point where, you think it's research, but actually it's just feeding a negative thought pattern in your mind. You know that these things aren't good for you, but you're doing them anyway because you're engaging with these parts of yourself and you're starting to feel shit. Like the anxiety is building. There is like this restlessness that's starting to just come up, and there needs to be a tipping point. And whether you have already reached the tipping point can look like emotions just suddenly coming up, a realization starting to happen, but there's going to be at some stage, some sort of crack where there's going to be a realization that things are about to get really, really good. Things are about to get so good, way better than you thought that they could get. And what you are going through right now is a necessary part of the becoming. You are in an evolutionary cycle right now. And if you have ever doubted that this was the right path, I want you to know that it is the right path. That it doesn't matter necessarily what the outcome is, but there is something in this journey, in this soul purge that you've been going through right now. There is something in it for you. You don't need to know what it is, but just trust that there is something in it. Because you are releasing something. You're letting a past version of yourself go. You are making space for the new version of you to come through. Whether you are manifesting wealth, money, visibility, career success, true love, whether you're just manifesting clarity, whatever it is, something is about to click for you. There is about to be a huge shift, a huge breakthrough. You are going to receive a sign in the next 24 hours that is going to give you clarity. It is the universe speaking to you and saying you are close. You are close, and it is not all bad. I know it feels hard right now. I know that you are feeling that there is something missing. And you're right, there is something missing, but that thing that's missing is about to come through really soon. And with it, it's going to come opportunities, it's going to come relationships, partnerships, friendships, money, wealth. You are going to become so rich in not just money, but in knowledge, in wisdom, in ways of being that far exceed where you are right now. If you've been hearing a ringing in your ears, if you've been getting cold chills that go through, you've been getting dizzy spells, all of these are little signs of whether it's ascension into a new version of yourself or a breakthrough is happening. There is deep cellular transformation that is happening within your body that you are transmuting and moving through right now. And it is part of the process. And it's so important that you hear that message that is a part of the process, that you are not being punished right now. The universe is not punishing you right now. No one is punishing you. This is part of it. Your soul actually agreed to come down to this life and experience these lessons. And this is a really big lesson that you're learning right now. And whilst you're in it, I feel you need to know that you need to use this time. You need to use, whether it's pain that you're experiencing, doubt, whatever it is, you're going through a dip. We constantly go through these ups and downs in life. And when you are in the dips, this is actually where we manifest. This is actually where we grow because we become a different person. A quantum leap requires two things. It requires quantum identity shifting, which requires us to shift a part of ourselves, and different action. Those are the two parts. But the quantum internal reality shift of who you are being often comes through transmuting pain. And so when you are in the darkness is actually where you will see the most. This is why they often say that blind people end up being the seers of like tribes and communities, because when they lose sight, they actually see with all of their other senses so much more clearly. You may have lost sight of what and where you are right now, and it may not make sense, but you have sight on something that's more important, where you're here to grow. What you're feeling isn't useless. It is information. And if you can use that information to create a map of where you're meant to go, of who you're meant to be, of one of the things that you are meant to release in this life, it will help you to transmute, shift, and change and evolve so much more quickly. I'm getting a real pull to my throat right now, and I feel the need to say that if anyone has been holding back with speaking, has been not using their voice, has been maybe relying on other people to give them a voice, this is actually, again, a part of your transformation because you're being called to become even more authentic in who you are and who you have come here to be. And if you've been holding back your true expression, or you're even doubting what your true expression is, again, this is the information, this is the wisdom. If you are meant to come here to be the most authentic version of yourself, what would God do? What would Spirit do? What would the Creator do? They would make you feel the depths of being inauthentic to give you a catalyst to change into dedicating yourself to being the most authentic. You have come here to be seen as you. You have come here to be heard as yourself. People want to hear your gifts. They want to hear your wisdom. They want to know who you are. You don't want to hold that back because you are holding back that gift from the world. And even if it feels like no one's listening right now, the way that people end up listening is by you just continuing to show up over and over and over again until eventually a message gets through. A quantum leap is never just something that happens overnight. It's always years of dedication to something that eventually leads to some kind of magical breakthrough, which is actually never a magical breakthrough. It's always just a very logical set of steps which eventually accumulate to this huge blow up moment where it's your time. I feel like your time is coming, and there is definitely something around your throat chakra that you are meant to shift. So whether that is healing your throat, releasing any fear you have around being yourself, stopping comparing yourself or sizing yourself up against other people, and really just embracing that people have come here to see you and to hear you. Your voice is enough. And actually the thing that's going to make you more successful, that's going to make you pop up, is your voice, is embracing that voice. And if you aren't embracing that voice, then Spirit will give you more resistance. The Creator will give you more resistance because you're not living in alignment. You're living with a mask on. You're living in your ego. You're living from a place of hiding as opposed to expansion. If your soul chose to come to this life as a fully expressed soul and then developed an ego because of all of the parents and the caregivers that you grew up with and the societies that you grew up with, you are just going to be wearing this mask of who you think you should be, but it's not who you authentically are. That soul wants to come and be seen. The soul is perfect. Your highest self is perfect. That's what you want to get back to, but you can't get back to that by doing all the things that you think you should be doing. I'm going through something very similar myself at the moment. And I just had a few days of just like massive, massive breakthroughs where spiritual gifts have come online, being able to hear so clearly, visions coming through. And all of that came out of pain. And I actually think the greatest gift that a lot of us are going through, in fact, as a collective that we're going through right now, is a lot of pain. They often say that the quantum crumble comes before the quantum leap. And I feel like that's happening for us as a collective right now. We are all experiencing in the world, there is a lot of pain. There is a lot of deception. There is a lot of confusion. There is a lot of truths that are being revealed. And a lot of this is causing a lot of pain for people. But that pain is what transmutes into something new. We can't bypass pain. We can't go through life unscathed. We can't pretend that everything is just meant to be happy all of the time, because that's not what we signed up for. This is a school, and we have come here to learn. And the way that we learn is through these periods, is through these dips. So if you are in a dip right now, if you are feeling any of the things that I have told you or mentioned here, I want you to know that you are close to a breakthrough. There is something that is going to be wilder than your wildest dreams on the other side. You are going to experience so much luck. You are going to be rewarded for the work that you are doing right now. You are about to experience expansion upon expansion. You are about to receive so many invitations and connections and relationships that are just blowing even your own mind. But you wouldn't have any of that if it wasn't for what you were going through right now. So use the period that you're in right now. Don't become a victim to it. Don't start saying to people, why is this happening to me? This is so unfair. You immediately go into victim. You start repelling miracles. Miracles come for those that can embrace and take empowered responsibility of the discomfort that we feel, or we can use them to propel our soul growth. It's who gets miracles all the time. The most spiritual people are the ones that face the most discomfort. They're often the people that have experienced the most trauma. And I'm not saying that you need to experience a load of trauma to be a spiritually evolved being. But what I am saying is, if you have resonated with this message and you are going through a dark night of the soul, something really hard, you're experiencing like shame, blame, doubt, fear, whatever it is, so what's the reason? That actually is the spiritual work. So don't shy away from it. Look at it. Sit with it. Sit with the discomfort. And if you struggle to sit with discomfort, the invitation is to look at why. Discomfort isn't bad. Emotions are just feelings. They come in and they go out. They're meant to be like waves. And you have come here to experience, to feel. But on the other side of all that feeling, you are about to be rewarded. If this resonated, I want you to send this to someone that maybe is also going through a challenging time, because this message is meant to be amplified. It's meant to be shared. And remember, if you want to receive, you sometimes have to give as well. There is an energy exchange. So make sure that you follow, subscribe to this channel, make sure that you send it to someone, make sure that you give the act of a message or a download, a channel to someone else to help them realize this time is just temporary. It's not forever. It's for a short period of time, and you are almost at the end of the dark tunnel that you have been in. And on the other side is a light that is so bright that is going to warm your entire soul. You are going to defrost all of the icicles that have been forming over you, and you are going to grow and blossom into the most beautiful butterfly with new gifts, with expanded presence, with more empathy, with more compassion, and an ability to be in the present moment and feel whole and feel truly human. This is the path of being a human. And you are right on track. I'm sending you so much love.